Change. The word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Kristina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Kristina Bloom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Be the Change Radio. You're listening to us on WLTK-DB.com, and I am your host, Kristina Bloom. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. We are kicking off into our fall season here. I know it's the end of August, and I probably shouldn't be pushing it, but I'm really excited because there are some great fall events coming up that I wanted to tell you about. But let's see first. Hey, Rez, Marcy, Melanie, Robin, thanks for jumping on here, guys. I appreciate that. So I just want to let you know I have some appointments that I opened up. I opened up some of my schedule for private appointments, generally done over phone or over video chat, whatever form of video chat we want to use. Hi, Sandy. Hey, Jamie Lynn. So I have openings every weekend every afternoon this week and evening, except for Thursday. Jamie Lynn, thanks. Appreciate it. And Thursdays, because I'm going to a concert for the first time in years. I'm going to Pentatonics. I'm super excited about it. They're playing in Milwaukee, and I'm just so excited to go. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Gail. So that's going on. But I do have openings, weekends, evenings, afternoons mostly. And I don't tend to do readings before noon because it's just not my thing. So anyway, tomorrow I have a Facebook Live in the evening, actually at 7:30. I will be doing that in my private group, which is Kristina Bloom, your spiritual advisor. So if you want to attend the lives that I do on Tuesday evenings, you have to join that group. It's the only place I do those lives. And on Wednesday at 10 a.m., you can meet me right back here at WLTK on the Self-Care Show at 10 a.m. with Deidre Sanford. Hey, Lorena, thanks for being here. All right. And Wednesday night, I am going to do a full moon meditation again in the group. Hi, Diane. So in my private group, Kristina Bloom, your spiritual advisor, I will be doing a full moon meditation. I looked it up and it says that the moon is going to be officially, I guess, full at 8:36 p.m. on Wednesday. That's Central Time. It's Central Time. They listed it as Eastern Time, which is 9:36 p.m. So I will be doing a full moon meditation in that group. If you want to come to the meditation, you have to join the group. All right. Next Monday, I'm really excited about this because my guest next Monday on this show is none other than Mr. Todd Bates. So he will be on and we will be talking about all kinds of fun paranormal stuff, I'm sure. So we have that going on. On the 9th, you can catch me live in Stevens Point, Wisconsin at the Soul and Synergy Metaphysical Fair at the Holiday Inn. I will be there all day from 10 to 5 doing readings. Let's see, on the 13th, Wednesday from 7:30 to 9, I'm doing an online class in reading auras. If you've ever been interested in learning how to read auras or have your aura read, come on over to the class. I will be reposting that again. It is a Facebook event. It's already been made, so you can look it up there. Hey, Wendy. Oh, I hope I haven't missed anybody. Hey, Courtney. Let's see. So the aura reading class on the 13th. On the 16th, I am back with the Soul and Synergy crowd, and this time we'll be in Ashland, Wisconsin, way up north. Beautiful location. And the big one coming up this month, Great Lakes Paranormal Conference. That is going to be at the Haunted Glen Beulah School, and that is September 22nd through the 24th. And I will be there all 3 days. I'm doing a presentation on Friday. I believe it's at 11. I will be doing, yes, Courtney, sorry. Courtney, the aura reading class is not going to be on Facebook. It's going to be a Zoom class. So I'll be reposting it again, but the event has already been created. You can find it there. So I will be at the Great Lakes Paranormal Conference. I will be doing a presentation on Friday. I think it's at 11 o'clock. I'll be doing a paranormal investigation from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's Saturday, 11 p.m. to Sunday, 2 a.m. And Sunday at 5 o'clock, I will be doing a gallery reading at the conference. So you have to buy tickets to go to all of those things. I mean, you have to buy a ticket to get into the conference to go to all of those things. I will have the two people who are doing that event on the 11th on this show. So that'll be fun. Let's see. Okay, and the last one in September is on the 30th, I will be at the Fall Harvest Psychic and Wellness Fair at Wild Blue Wander, UP. It's their first time doing that event there. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great outdoor event. And a lot of people just kind of spread out across a beautiful property. It's going to be amazing. So that is my September schedule thus far. Good evening, Terry. Good evening, Facebook user, who said, fun with a smiley face. Hey, Kevin, thanks for being here. I'm really excited, you guys. We are going to have so much fun on the show tonight because Leigh Warner is my guest tonight, and it is not possible to be around Leigh and not have fun because she's just fun. And she's laughing at me backstage. I can see her. So without further ado, we are going to bring Leigh up and get some talking.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hey, fun is Tristan. Awesome.
Yep. I have my phone up so I can see who the random Facebook users are.
Gotcha. Yeah, everybody's like, Leigh is fun. She's awesome. She's a blast. You got a lot to live up to, girl.
Well, I start my new show next week, and I hope everybody can join.
Yeah, let's talk about your show first because you are doing a fun show. You're doing movie reviews.
Yes, it's called The Monday Night Ticket, and it will be on right before Kristina's show. So yeah. I hope my village of co-commenters will join me. We're going to be reviewing sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal movies. My guests each week will be choosing the movie we're going to review. So we're going to pre-announce that all. Awesome. My first guest, so he's going to be busy next Monday night, will be Mr. Todd Bates.
Oh, yeah. He's doing back-to-back shows.
And then he's going to be on Kristina's.
I don't know. Is he also doing the 6 o'clock show? I don't know.
He does it all. He's wonderful.
He does it. He does do it all. He does. Absolutely. So,
and we're going to be. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to say the chat room is like all behind you here.
Oh. Hi, everybody.
Go ahead, Leigh.
Yeah. So we'll be reviewing the others. And then I have all the way booked up to October 9th, which I will have Kristina on the show, and we will be reviewing Powder, which I haven't watched since it first came out. So I'm really looking forward to re-watching that.
I'm going to have to find it and watch it again before we do your show.
Oh, Brez, I don't watch horror.
I don't do horror either. No.
But when you get an opportunity to come on the show, Rez, I'll do a horror movie for you.
Speaking of which, I want to put a shout out to Rez because he joined a contest and we can all start voting for him on September 5th. So let's see. It is the Face of Horror contest. And he said, make sure you vote on September 5th and please share. I need all the votes I can get. So I will be sharing that repeatedly on my social media.
Vote for Rez.
Vote for Rez. Put it on your calendars. So vote for Resnick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really proud of him for doing that. That was really stepping out of his comfort zone. So
Good job.
Yeah, good job, Resnick. Awesome.
I also have some of our chat people are going to be some of my guests on the show.
Ooh, who you got? Who you got?
I got Robin and Nikki Cribs.
Awesome.
On October 2nd, and we're going to be reviewing The Shining.
Ooh. Wow.
Yes. So I'm excited about rewatching all these movies and talking about them. And I want everybody in the chat to please comment and give us your opinion too. Awesome. Oh, look, Todd popped up, vote for Rez here. So
yep,
everybody's got the link.
Everybody's got the link, but they're not taking votes until September 5th. So save the link somewhere.
Or rewatch.
So that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So what we are here to talk about tonight is your extraterrestrial paranormal experiences.
Yes. So
let's hear about that. Where do you want to start? You've had several, so where do you want to start?
Well, I'll start when I was a wee little girl, cute and not very oh, thank you, Courtney. I took a shower today. Yay.
Yay.
just for y'all. But so when I was very young, this was before I was even in kindergarten, so I was probably 3 or 4 years old. I remember all of this as dreams that I had as a child, very vivid dreams that I still remember very well, 20 years later.
20 years later. Wow, 20 whole years. Wow. All right.
But so I would tell my mom about my dreams.
I'm sorry, I read a comment. Go ahead.
Oh, that's Tristan.
That's Tristan.
I'm still waiting for Tristan to name a cat named Leigh because I have a cat named Tristan. That's
right.
But
anyway, continue with your story because we're just like going totally ADHD here tonight.
That's fine. So I was always really afraid of the laundry chute, which is, metal tube. And in one of my dreams, I can remember laying on like a table, not being able to move, and then seeing like a metal tube above me, and I was being moved through it. And so that's why the laundry chute always scared me, because it reminded me of that dream.
Okay.
I also would have other dreams that me and my family, we had eaves in our house behind the closet, and that we would try to go hiding in the eaves to hide from them. And one time I was bringing my Barbie case with me, and it spilt out, and someone yelled at me, "Now they're going to know where we're hiding." I've also in our basement. So I was always really short as a young child. And in our basement, I remember 3 people, and I told my mom about this again. I told them that I saw the motorcycle men, and she said, "Well, who are the motorcycle men?" And of course, being a 3 or 4-year-old, I had no frame of reference about grays or aliens or anything like that.
Right.
And then they were all the same color, and they had really big heads, like a motorcycle helmet. So I called them the motorcycle men. And they were small. They weren't very much taller than me. And then also in my dreams, I can remember we would wake up different places.
Okay.
So that was weird. And then we lived on like a cul-de-sac round street. Behind us were a power transformer station in Milwaukee. And next to that was a big field. And I was out with my sister's dog. And in the sky, I saw a light coming towards me, and it was going beep, 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 beep. And like I fell to the ground and I couldn't move. And I told the dog to run so they won't get him. And then I woke up. And that was shortly after that. And I told my mom, because that one really scared me, because I remembered that one really good. We were watching on the 4 TV stations that we used to have. We were watching the Betty and Barney Hill story. It was the first time it was being broadcast on TV. And Betty and Barney Hill basically was the first public who got abducted by aliens.
Yeah, they have a fascinating story.
Yes. And basically the same thing. A light was coming towards them, and then it started going beep, beep, beep. And I started screaming because I was like, that's the same noise that the light was making in my dream.
Yeah.
Also, then I also had some physical evidence. I was in 2nd grade, and I kept getting really bad nosebleeds. And it was so bad, and I had gotten like a blood clot in my nose. So my mom took me out of school to go to the doctor, and he pulled out the blood clot, and he was looking in it. And I had way up high, I had a cut in my nose. And my mom joking was like, oh, it's just because she was picking her nose. And the doctor's like, no, her finger wouldn't fit all the way up there. He said it had cut a vein, and that's why it was always bleeding. And he had to solder it shut for it to stop. And then that was 2nd grade. And in the first semester of 4th grade, we moved to South Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I really didn't have any dreams anymore about aliens or being abducted or anything like that. When I was a teenager in South Milwaukee, I was outside with my boyfriend, and we were looking up at the sky, looking at the stars. And we did see what we thought was a satellite going across. And then we were both looking at it. I was like, oh, look at that. Is that a satellite? And then it sort of stopped. It went zig, 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 zoom, and it went away. And I was like, I don't think that was a satellite.
Yeah. So you have had several experiences.
Yes. And one of the things I had asked you about doing.
Yeah, I forgot
regression to see if these really were just dreams, or was I being abducted?
Right. We haven't.
You had told me, well, it sounds like you are remembering a lot, even though you're remembering it as when you had these dreams.
Right.
And then I thought about it some more, and I was like, you know what? I probably don't want to remember anything more than what I do about what they did to me. So
probably,
I sort of let that slide.
So this is the first thing that popped into my head when you said that your family moved from near a power station away from that, and then you weren't having the experiences anymore. So it makes me wonder, was it because you were near that power station that it was happening?
That could have very well been. Because I mean, I really was, we never were inside as kids. We were always outside and playing.
Oh yeah.
And
that was our generation though. We pretty much grew up feral. So
exactly. There was woods behind us, and down the hill was Cannon Park, which is a city park in Milwaukee. So I mean, we were outside all the time in the winter too. So it could very well have been the because it's a huge power. They had those big, transformer towers there behind us too. So
yeah, makes me
could have
wonder
been
though.
that.
Makes me wonder, is that what drew them in? Have you talked to anyone else who lived in the area at the same time that you did to see if anyone else was having experiences?
Well, I did ask my sisters,
Okay.
who one was 15, I think. Well, I mean, I think she was 15 when we moved to Dixon Street. And then I asked my sister, Jill, who's only a couple years older than me, I'm like, do you remember anything like this? And she's like, I remember you having those dreams, but I don't remember anything about alien abductions. I'm like, okay, good.
Hey, Nikki.
Yeah. And it looks like Courtney
Nikki has joined us.
I sparked a memory in her that she had a scab in her ear and she has no recollection of what happened. How old were you, Nikki, when that happened?
Courtney.
Oh,
how old
Courtney,
were you?
Sorry.
How old was Courtney? Yeah.
I read Nikki's name, so.
I know. I do the same thing all the time. I'm so sorry, everyone. And I did miss saying hello to Lisa, so I just wanted to go back and say hi to Lisa. I didn't want her to think I was ignoring her. She's way back there somewhere.
Yeah, Courtney was in 5th grade, so.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that I have been asked before, like, have I ever had an x-ray or a scan done of my head to see if anything's in there? And no, never had anything like that done. So
sorry. See if there's anything in there.
Yeah. That's why I'm afraid that they're going to find nothing.
That they're going to find nothing.
No brain, nothing.
I'm a 12-year-old, so that's just kind of where my brain went. So sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I've said that before too.
So you had sent me a video and I forgot to send it on to Todd. I meant to do that. But you had sent me a video that you took in your backyard.
Yep.
And how long ago did you take that video?
That was about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I had just went in my backyard. I think I was checking on the dogs and I saw something and it was white and it was flittering and it was moving across the sky. So I ran inside, grabbed my phone, and I started videoing it. And my friend was here, and you can hear us talking on it. She's like, I'm like, do you see it? She's like, what are you doing? Because she heard me run in right away. And I'm like, I'm grabbing my phone. I see a UFO. So, of course, she comes outside. And she's like, I'm like, do you see it? And she's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, well, it's not really doing much. But I took a video. And it really, that was before the TikTok. I mean, so it was during, because TikTok just came out, but TikTok happened in 2014, I think.
Okay.
And so if it was about, so it was probably 1998 or 2018.
2018. Okay. It's okay.
What year is it?
23, I believe. I
Yeah.
can't believe it's 23 already. Weren't we just talking about Y2K like last week or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then 2012 when the Mayan calendar ends.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to bring this up because when the chat room's going, these things move, and I can't read them when they're moving. So, Lisa says, when I was about 5, my sister and I shared a room, and I used to wake up and see a bright light in the field, and see my sister floating out the window, and then I couldn't move. And when I woke up again, she was there. My sister also said she used to have experiences with them, especially when she was pregnant. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And I knew that when you came on and you started talking about it, other people who had had experiences would also feel more free to talk about it. And I think it's really, really important that we open up that kind of dialogue.
Yes.
Because it's
luckily,
real.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't remember a lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember it as dreams. But there's people that remember the whole abductions and who have had babies taken from them,
Yeah.
as far as they know,
Right. I remember seeing a documentary with a man who I don't remember his name. Um, I believe he's part of MUFON now, actually, um, where his baby was taken. They took him and his girlfriend and took the baby, and then brought him a few years later to go meet the baby.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think I saw that too.
I wish I could. I should have looked up his name and I didn't think of it. Todd has that video ready to go if you want him to show it.
Oh, yes. I would love to share my UFO video with everybody.
Awesome. Look at
Do
that.
you see it over there?
Yeah, I can see it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was holding it, so I'm not as steady.
Sort of looks like a balloon, though.
I was gonna say that the way it's
Wobbling.
a balloon shaped like a UFO.
It's a balloon foe. Unless it like zips off, I think it's just a balloon.
I was rationalizing.
I hear that. Courtney says she's seen one like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind. I mean, it's moving erratically, but I can't tell how much of that is your camera moving and how much is it moving.
It was going pretty steady. It was flopping back and forth, but the up and down was me. It was going.
That'd be a
pretty
good
steady
thing
in
for
the front.
Halloween.
Right? Maybe that's why someone.
Oh, it must have been right before Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going pretty fast.
Yeah. A balloon
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
go
not
that
doing
fast.
any maneuvering or anything. It seems to be going with the wind.
But really, if you look at the trees, it's really not that windy out. So
No. Well, it depends. Yeah, it's really not, and it looks like it's pretty high up.
yeah, and it's big for how
Yeah.
high up it is too. It's
Yeah.
really wouldn't be balloon size. I don't think I could see a regular Mylar balloon with
Not
how
splitting in
high it
two.
was.
Yeah. Kevin says he's seen metallic spheres a few times.
Well, it's really an unidentified flying object because we don't know
Yeah.
what it is for sure.
Yep.
See any green men out here? Let me know.
Okay.
And Kristina, I think I remember you talking about you were in over Lake Superior.
Lake Superior. Yeah, it's really interesting because that's where I am when I see them is Lake Superior. I don't recall ever having an event like you did where I had an experience with the others, but yeah, I saw one of the triangle ones, that kind of just like spin and then zip. I saw one of those over Lake Superior, and then last time I was up there, I actually saw a couple of them that were cloaked. Like you could see when the clouds moved around them, you could see like the full moon was reflecting off of it, and we kind of caught like a glimpse, and then there was a triangle of lights, like just like almost like an arrow of.
Like the Phoenix lights.
I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have a couple of comments in here that I wanted to get
Yes.
to. Let's see. Wendy. So Wendy said, regarding living close to transformers, do you think that opens up channels of both extraterrestrial and other energies? And awesome video. And then she had a second part of that question, which was second part of that question or comment. Could that also be in wires above roads and houses?
Well, I do
Yep.
know in the Dixon Street where I lived, all the people we grew up with, is pretty much a cancer cell
Yeah.
block of. My sister had a very strange cancerous brain tumor. Mrs. Plum next door, she had very strange stomach cancer. Other people had all kinds of strange cancers. Like the neighbors, both the mother and the grandma and the grandfather had cancer, strange cancers, not normal types of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was I remember a girl growing up who had leukemia.
Okay.
So yeah, I know they say that there's not supposed to be that, but
yeah.
those electromagnetic fields. So
Well, it affects us. We have iron in our blood, Kevin says that he lives in Ashland and he has seen them since he was a kid, many different style of crafts. So, yep. And Ashland is right up there on Lake Superior. So, yep. Hi, Lori. Thank you for joining us. I've been trying to get to you there. Let's see. So, I love it when people are stepping up and stepping out. Now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want to talk about the message that you sent me last week saying that you had a recent experience. So we're going to talk about that if that's okay with you.
yes, it is.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a break and we will be back in a minute or so.
Looking for a unique paranormal experience? The Haunted Rock Island YMCA Paracon, October 7th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is just the event you're looking for. You will have the opportunity to investigate the Haunted Rock Island YMCA with ACG Paranormal. Visit with over 60 paranormal and metaphysical vendors from 8 or more states. And pre-order your t-shirts at dvinar@aol.com. Visit a psychic gallery reading, mediums, tea leaf reading, animal communication, dream interpretation, aura reading, tarot and oracle card readings, or get a Reiki healing. See a demonstration of the Estes method by Carly Bird. Presentations by Nick Simons and Aaron G. Thompson of 28 Days Haunted, Greg Bakken from Ghostbox Radio, and headliner Rick Hayes, along with many folks you'll see on Paraflix. Be sure to like and follow our sponsors: Paraflix, WLTK-DB Talk Radio LLC, Studio 6 Productions, Unturned Pages, and Ocean Eye Crystals. General admission is only $5 and all proceeds go directly to the Haunted Rock Island YMCA. For more information on the Haunted Rock Island YMCA Paracon and vendors, look for them on Facebook under Events.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. You're listening to Be the Change in WLTK. Let's Talk Radio. I am here with my guest, Leigh Warner, and we are talking about paranormal extraterrestrial experiences, which is also paranormal in my world, but a specific kind of paranormal. So let's talk about that. You had a recent experience, you said.
Yes, but it wasn't extraterrestrial.
Okay.
So I had been asleep and my stomach was a little upset. So I had gotten up, went to the bathroom, came back, tried to fall asleep. I had to get up again. I was in the bathroom for a while and then I'm finally coming back to bed. I wear glasses. I'm very blind without glasses. And it was completely dark in my house. And I'm walking back and I walk into my bedroom and I see this small shadow figure. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I went, ah! And I hit it. And it was Todd, my boyfriend. he didn't know I was in the bathroom, so I really scared him. It's not really but apparently if I ever see a shadow figure, hopefully I never will in my house, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scream and hit it.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my gosh. And
then, of
Todd's
course, I'm
not a
gonna go
small
back to
person, so he's a big dude. So
yeah, but apparently he was sitting on the bed. So when I first saw it, it was dark room, and all I saw was like shoulders and a head, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger. I was
like, oh my goodness.
Oh.
I want to say hi to Kristina. Hi, Kristina. Thanks for joining us. Rez has a question. Have either one of you ever taken part in the CE5 protocol and try to make contact? I think the CE5, that's Dr. Greer, right? That's Stephen Greer.
I think
yeah.
So. No, I have not.
I have not either, but I want to. In fact, I want to get a hold of him and get him on the show. Hey, Keith.
Oh,
thanks for joining us briefly, because I know that you're off to go to bed. So thanks for joining us briefly. I appreciate that. So I have not, but I would like to. I think that would be pretty amazing. So that's for those of you who don't know what a CE5 protocol is. It is a group of people that get together and meditate outside with the intention of drawing a UFO alien contact to the group. That is what a CE5 protocol is. And there's a place online, Dr. Stephen Greer created this protocol, and I'm not sure where. I'm sure you can look up CE5 protocol and get information on a group near you that's doing it, because apparently they're everywhere. In fact, CAPS did it. And I watched that video, and they said that they did see something that would qualify as a UFO, as in it was unidentified. But they were also monitoring a nearby airport to know when, when aircraft was taking off and landing too. So that was pretty interesting. I think that would be a fun thing to do. In fact, maybe we should go to your campground and do that.
Oh, that would be good, because there are orbs that happen at my campground.
Okay.
Last year, I think it was, or the year before, we were doing karaoke, and other friends of ours were filming orbs that for about 45 minutes, they would manifest, appear, travel, and then they would disappear. So about 45 minutes, they saw about 5 of them or something.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So apparently, and then I've always heard people say that the Playful Goose is the UFO campground, and some of the older people who have been there for a long time have like UFOs painted on their sheds and stuff. So
wow. That's cool. I don't know why your camp, because I didn't know that about your campground. So it just popped into my head. That's where we should go and do it.
Yes.
Is it your campground?
Yeah. Well, I don't own a campground.
No,
I would love to own a campground, but
that's where you stay though.
That's where I stay. We're seasonal. So
yeah. That would be fun. The orbs want to hear you sing. Rosa Robin said the orbs want to hear you sing.
Yeah, I see that. That's why I started laughing. I'm like, oh, the orbs don't have good taste then. No. Of course you can come, Rez.
Of course.
That's what we should. Well, when Rez is going to stay at my campsite for the Great Lakes Paranormal Conference. So
that's where. But you're not staying in Horicon though.
No, I'm up at a private campsite up there, and you and Wendy, if you're not doing the paranormal investigation, we could try the C5 protocol, because it's on. I'm going to be staying on the Mill Pond in Glen Beulah.
Cool. I'm actually doing one Saturday at 11:30 until 2 a.m. on Sunday.
Okay. Well, I'm showing up at Thursday and setting
Okay.
up my camper. So,
Cool.
but yes, Rez, you can always come to the campground too.
Yep. Okay, Rez, all you need to know is it's an open invitation.
Yes.
There's
Everybody
always an
can
open
come.
invitation. Yeah, it'd be fun.
So
Courtney.
one thing I wanted to talk to you about, which I thought was real interesting, when you went up to the Apostle Islands
Mm-hmm.
and you were showing all those photos, that one
Mhm.
photo, I was like, look at what's in this photo.
Yeah, I'm
So-
trying to remember what, because I took like 600 photos that weekend. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Can you describe
then-
it?
Yeah, so there was like a symbol in it, and then you can see a
yes, in the
figure in it.
rocks.
And
Yeah.
when you were channeling, and I can never say the Palladian person's name correctly,
Yeah, it's okay.
but when you were channeling them,
Mm-hmm.
he had said that they don't know who they are, but they are somebody that lives in Lake Superior that wanted to show themselves to you.
Okay.
And that's why you got that picture of them.
Interesting. I'm going to have to go through those pictures and find that again and post it on the radio station page, group page. Yep, there's
Yeah.
Urok, and then there's it's like YGOCHE or something like that. It's like
I think it was
Yeah.
Uach that you
Urok.
were channeling, and that's what
Okay.
he had said, that that's what the figure was in
Okay.
the picture. So
Yeah. I had taken other pictures on Lake Superior when I was up there with a different group, and it looked like there was a space, from our perspective, it looked oval because we were looking out onto the water and it was like a flat space, but it looked like it was illuminating from underneath. So, yeah, that was interesting too. Yeah. Just Lake Superior is that's where I see them.
mm-hmm.
That's where I see them is there. Okay. There was something else I was just going to ask you too, because you spend a lot of time like outside. You spend a lot of time like me looking up. I am always looking up.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing to see anything, is to always look up.
Oh yeah, Kristina Loff was there with me that night. She got some really cool pictures too. Yeah. It was really interesting though, because it really looked like it was illuminated from underneath, and we didn't see any craft, as far as I know, actually come up out of the water, but the way that the clouds and the mist was moving, it could have been like covering it up.
Yeah. Could have been
cloaking.
cloaked too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really interesting to see that coming up. I have always been a believer, even though I've not had a direct contact like that. Although I channel, so to me that's a direct contact, but it's a different kind of direct contact. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy that night. It really was. But channeling, I think, is a little bit different than, probably a lot different than being abducted. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different. But there are so many different species. Like, how would we even know who's visiting us? And some of them look human.
Yep. And then, I watched the whole thing with Dr. Stephen Greer, the congressional hearings and everything. And the one military member who him and his wife saw a craft, but then there was American military people there, and they got abducted and things happened to them. So a lot of people are saying that the grays are like bioengineered robot thingies, or something
Okay.
in that
Yeah, I
they're
did not watch those. I really probably should watch those congressional hearings. I'm sure that they're probably still somewhere online.
And there was a lot of things that, I mean, those people, those men who they're like, I can't say, because I mean, their lives are in danger.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And Todd put in the private chat that he said, great guy. I interviewed him back in 2009. And I'm assuming he's talking about
Stephen Greer,
Stephen Greer.
Dr. Greer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Courtney says, I believe the Greys made like little avatars almost, sent here because they cannot breathe or survive here. Sorry,
Survive.
she fixed it in the next survive here. It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so much that we don't know. I guess that's where I come from. There's so much that we don't know. That how can we say definitively, what's what and who's who? Because we don't really know. There's too much information that we just don't have. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. There's just too much information that we just don't have. And so, we have our experiences, and that's what we know is what our experiences are.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone who's had an experience, whether it was through meditation, whether it was through channeling, whether it was through being abducted and taken to somewhere else, to a ship, to whatever, we each have our own experiences, and those we can say, yes, this much I know. But as far as the rest of it, we don't. There's so much we don't know. We don't even know about all of the species that exist on our own planet. They're finding new species all the time.
Yep.
We don't even know about those. How can we possibly pretend to know about species that don't live on this planet?
Exactly.
And I have always been someone, even as a small child, I'm like, I can remember being 4 or 5, 6 years old and thinking, why are they not coming back and picking me up? I was obviously left on this planet by mistake. But I can remember thinking that as a little kid, like, I'm on the wrong planet. How did I end up here?
Well, now you know why you, as a little kid, figured out you were on the wrong planet.
Exactly. My phone is blowing up. Like, people are sending me private messages left and right. I'm just seeing my phone light up as they're doing it. Yeah, but it is an interesting concept, though. And I kind of have to laugh a little bit because maybe I shouldn't, but I do. At the people who are like, well, they're here to take over and destroy our world and blah, blah, blah. If they wanted our world destroyed, it would have been destroyed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Let's be real. They are not here to do that. They might be curious. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. Joe's going to be a guest of mine, too.
Awesome. Courtney says she used to cry when they told her the sun was dying.
Not for a long, long time.
No, right now it's just throwing radiation at us because, why not? But yeah, it's I just think that it's so interesting. Like, if there was a superior species that wanted us gone, we'd be gone. That I don't really feel like that's their agenda.
And we're doing a good job on our own.
Yes, we are. That's what Marilyn just said. Heck, I think we're doing all that's destroying all on our own. Yes, we are. Yeah, unfortunately, we are. Hopefully, shifting into this 5th dimensional thing will take care of some of that. But boy, we've done a lot of damage.
Well, there's even stories about UFOs going over like nuclear missile sites and shutting down the sites and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that could even be future humans coming back in time and preventing something getting launched.
Yeah, that is definitely a theory I've heard for sure.
Yeah.
Because I hopefully future humans are a lot smarter than current humans. But yeah, fingers crossed. We're hoping. We're hoping. Was there anything else that you wanted to add in? Because I know we've probably chatted about this before.
Yeah.
It's not looking too promising.
Well, I've had a couple people who had strange dreams as childs mentioned this and on other shows and stuff so I don't really do it so much now, but I used to have dreams about airplane crashings, and then one would in a week or two. And I've had people tell me that a lot of abductees, that happens to them where they know about things that are going to happen, like airplane crashes or aviation things or such as that.
Right.
So I have a dog or a cat breaking into my room.
That's okay. It happens a lot. It's okay.
Yeah.
When Logan was 5 years old, he woke up crying one night because he had dreams about a plane like the one we took to Grandpa's, which was, by the way, American Airlines, flying into buildings. 3 years later, when it happened, there was no consoling him.
No.
There was no consoling him. And I'd always wondered about him having been abducted too. Just a few weird things that he said when he was a kid. I don't remember specifics now, but I remember thinking that's pretty advanced for a young human.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with me seeing the motorcycle men. And
yeah.
Sorry, this is Tristan, not Stanley.
Hi, Tristan.
Hi, audience.
Tristan is beautiful. I know I've met him before.
Lucky boy. But well, and so I did have when I had both when the shuttles exploded. I had the one was a waking experience. I was driving from Daytona Beach to New Smyrna, where I lived, and I was driving. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was really late at night, early in the morning, and I saw this bright ball of light behind me in the rear view mirror coming up behind me. I felt like my right side wasn't protected. I literally pulled off the road and stopped and screamed, "Stop it!" And then a week and a half later, the Challenger blew up.
Oh, wow.
And when I saw it on TV, I said, "Oh, that's what that was about." I just knew that's what that was about.
That was
I was so upset by it. 3 o'clock in the morning, I called my parents who lived in Wisconsin, and I'm like, "Is everybody okay? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Everybody okay?" Crying hysterically. I woke up my sister and everybody. I'm like, "Something's wrong." And then when the other one, because I always knew when I had one of those dreams. So I was dreaming it was the shuttle, and when it was landing, it was dating myself. The $6 million man used to show a real airplane test pilot crashing, rolling while it was landing. And I dreamt that. And I told my ex-mother-in-law and stuff. And that morning, my sister Jo, who I lived with in Florida, I would tell her when I had an airplane crashing dream. So she called me up, woke me up, and she's like, "Did you have a dream about the shuttle crashing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did. Why?" She's like, "The shuttle crashed." I was like, "No." I mean, I scream. Apparently I scream a lot.
Apparently you scream a lot.
Yeah.
You know so what? Under those circumstances, it's absolutely allowed to scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I told Kristina before that was the most useless psychic gift that I ever had in my life, knowing that an airplane was going to crash sometime in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. I think at that point, I also shared that the most useless gift I ever had was knowing that an earthquake was coming, but didn't know where.
Yeah. It happened, but don't know where.
It happened. It happened at was it Lake Tahoe? I think it was. Yeah. And I'm like, why? Why would you give me information I can't do anything with? So yeah.
Well, the one good thing, so that happened when I was like started happening when I was 13, and then it stopped because I joined the Air Force, and then I flew on airplanes in the Air Force, and thank God I never had one of those dreams.
Yeah.
And the second shuttle blowing up was the only dream like that I had about an airplane or the shuttle after I got out of the Air Force. So,
wow, that's crazy.
mm.
Excuse me, just
Oh, bless you.
yeah, I muted for that one. Oh, someone's having connection issues. I'm sorry. I hope that it looks like it's probably Tristan.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and being so open and so giving about the things that have happened to you and really opening up that conversation for other people.
Yeah.
And, I think I have watched every possible UFO documentary that I can find on any of the streaming networks or any of the streaming services, I guess now they're calling them. But yeah, I have seen a lot of those. And everything you brought up, I recognize. I didn't always know the name, but I always recognize what you were talking about because I just keep watching them. It's like I'm going to say probably obsessed with watching those because I don't know. It's just something in it resonates with me.
Yeah.
And
well, it's really important, especially there's all kinds of support groups out there for people that have had abductions. It's really important to talk to someone about it who understands who won't judge you, because some of these things are very traumatic of things that have happened to people. And I mean, nowadays, even, the government's coming out saying that, yes, we know about them, though they aren't being very clear about it. But, with that's, post-traumatic things that you did not give permission for have been happening to you. Most people, it's generational. It's been happening your whole life. You want to talk to someone about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, Courtney, thank you. She said we're amazing together. We are. You and I make a good team, Leigh. We do. What else? There was something else. You had mentioned something. I was going to bring it up about getting the support that people need, and that it's so much of people being told for a long time, you're making it up. You were just dreaming it, just being told, like, basically you're lying and you don't know.
Or that you're crazy.
Exactly. This was the other thing I was going to bring up. Thank you, Robin. I'm surprised the government tells us that much. And really the big story about the United States government releasing any kind of knowledge about it is that we all knew already and nobody cared. Like that was like the biggest part of the story. It's like, yeah,
we all know.
Tell us something we don't know. Because most people either already knew it or just flat out are in denial and have the blinders on and don't want to see. And that's fine. We all have choices, and maybe it's easier to not see. But for those of us who have seen and those of us who have experienced in one way or another, we know. And we know, even again, as a little kid, it never made sense to me growing up in a Christian church. Never made sense to me that any God would make so many planets and only put life on one of them.
Yeah.
Like that never made sense to me, even as a small child.
Yeah. Well,
yes, we will.
I have very religious friends, and I am religious too. I do believe in God. But whenever anybody, is like, well, the Bible doesn't, I was like, well, it is in the Bible. Some, it's not quite as it is, but I always say, don't make my God too small. My God can do anything.
Yeah.
He can make,
God doesn't fit in a box. So
he can make a gazillion, million, trillion, beyond infinity, different light forms that even here on Earth, besides other planets and everything. So
yeah, definitely. Again, thank you. It's been a great show. Thank you for coming on and chatting with us this evening and really just doing your part to open up the door and make it a safe space. And for me, I work very hard to make the show a safe space. And you can tell by the chat room that people don't get in and say nasty things because it's a safe space. Their energy is not comfortable here. And so,
well, thank you for having me on and letting me share.
Absolutely. I think you're an amazing human being. And I think you're probably an amazing alien too, you know, since we're all made of the same stardust, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, on another planet, we're the aliens.
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
Love you too, Robin.
Yeah, I love you. I miss you, Robin. You got to come back for Spirits in the Spring next year because I miss you.
Yes.
We're going to have like the biggest Airbnb in the area because we got so many people coming next year. But thank you again so much. And we'll be in touch again soon. We need to get some of this stuff done.
Yes.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us and for joining in this great conversation. And remember, next week, we got Mr. Todd Bates on here. We're going to be talking about all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure that you tune in next week twice because Todd's going to be on for like 2 straight hours. He's going to be on Leigh's show and then he's going to be on my show. So make sure that you tune in for that next week. Nikki, Robin, Courtney, everybody, Keith, Kevin.
Thank you.
Wow, so many people, Marilyn and Diane, and wow, I just love you all so much, and Courtney, and have a great week and enjoy your long weekend if you're in the United States, and we'll see you next week.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.